Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Jake the Fate, and in this video, I'm going to be doing a review and demo on this Sun Valley Super Shredder. So here I have this Schecter Sun Valley Super Shredder, and without further ado, I'm going to take you guys to the workbench. I'm going to show you guys spec by spec all the cool features on this guitar. Then I'm going to give you guys a quick demo of how this guitar sounds, and then I'm going to give you guys my final thoughts on this Schecter Sun Valley Super Shredder. Alright, so the color of this guitar, they call it their rain green. It kind of looks like it's been hydro dipped. I could be wrong, but if you look at the green parts, there's like some glitter or like sparkle to it. And it is a high gloss guitar, so you are going to see some fingerprints. You know, if you guys have sweaty fingers like me, you might see them, but not really. But if you guys notice that the edges, they kind of look black in certain angles, but it's really not. It depends on the lighting. It's got a pretty cool effect to it, actually. But honestly, this finish looks really nice. Like the green and the black look sick. So this guitar is a 25.5-inch scale length with a 41.3 millimeter nut. It's got a 14-inch fretboard radius, so it's a really flat fretboard, so you guys can actually shred on this thing. You got 24 extra jumbo frets. They're not stainless steel or anything like that. They're probably nickel. The frets are rounded pretty nice, as Schecter always does. You do have these offset reverse black dot inlays. Reverse meaning that you have these 5 up here, and then you have these 5 down there. In terms of electronics, you have one master volume and one master tone, and a 3-way selector switch blade for your pickup selector switch right there. And you also have these 2 mini toggle switches for your Sustainiac system, your on and off switch, your fundamental mode, your mix mode, and your harmonic mode. So the wood on this guitar is a mahogany body with a maple neck. Well, they say it's like a Canadian rock maple. It's probably some fancy name for a regular maple neck, but that's what they call it, a Canadian rock maple neck. And it's a thin C-shaped neck going from 20 millimeters from the first fret to 22 millimeters of thickness on the 12th fret. So it gets, you know, pretty thin going down here. I mean, it's already thin going from here to here, but it gets thinner going down here. So when you guys are going to shred and stuff, it feels extra comfortable. All I'm going to do now is take off the strings and talk about these pickups and talk about this Floyd and, you know, get into details with this guitar. All right, so there's a couple of interesting stuff going on here. Under here, you guys can see the mahogany wood right there. They have everything else very nicely shield painted. The bridge cavity, the control cavity, everything looks pretty good, There's like no half-ass paint jobs. Like the clear coat looks really good under here too. So they did a really good job on the actual body. And as you guys can see right there, that 3-way selector switch is a pretty good quality 3-way switchblade. It's not one of those like cheap circuit board ones. I'm actually going to take off the pickups from the pick guard because there's some pretty interesting stuff that I saw while I was looking at this. So something that I noticed was with the Sustainiac over here, right? You guys can clearly see there's 2 coils in here. So this gives me the impression that this is kind of like a hum canceling single coil type of thing going on here. Because if you look at this Sustainiac over here, this just kind of looks like it's a whole single coil. And I don't know if they're all like that, but if you guys are more knowledgeable on the Sustainiac system, you know, let me know in the comment section, because, you know, this is pretty interesting and I'm too afraid to take these things apart and, you know, dig into these, because, you know, these things are not cheap. So if you guys are a little bit more knowledgeable on these Sustainiacs, let me know in the comment section below, because, you know, this is pretty interesting. And this EMG pickup is the EMG retroactive, if I can focus, Hot 70. So what this basically is, it's just like a passive sounding pickup with a preamp back here. Even if you guys take off the screws, there's a circuit board right underneath that. So if you guys start messing around with this thing, it won't be pretty. All right, so this Floyd Rose is a pretty interesting Floyd Rose. This is a Floyd Rose special, but as you guys can see here, and this comes stock. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this, because I never have, but this is called a Floyd Rose Special Hot Rod. It's basically a Schecter exclusive Floyd Rose. It's a Floyd Rose Special, but it's got stainless steel screws, and it's got a brass block for extra sustain. And also it's got this push-in bar. If I can get it out. When I first saw it, I thought it was a Floyd Rose 1500, because this is what most of the 1500s look like. Like, it's got, this kind of look to it. This is pretty cool in a sense. I think it's pretty cool, but I don't know, man. Like, the fact that it's got a brass block, it's a plus. Stainless steel screws, that's another plus. But the major problem with these Floyd Rose specials is the saddles. You're putting in stronger screws, and it's already got weak saddles. It's gonna strip 100%. What they should have done was put better saddles. Like, if they were gonna put in these like stainless steel screws, they could have put in better quality saddles, because like I said, these things are gonna strip pretty quick. So, me personally, I might just put in better saddles. Like I said, over time with these specials, these things strip. So the fact that it's got good quality screws, it's just gonna strip 100%. Because you guys see where that little knife edge is? It's already starting to chip. You can already see, like, this is like copper. So because this base plate is copper, and these saddles are made out of copper, so that's very, very, very soft metal. But again, like I always say with these specials, if you guys are taking care of them, they'll last you probably a year, maybe a little bit more. But if you guys are constantly cranking these things up, and you guys are turning these screws over and over really tight, they're going to strip. But aside from that, you get this nice little contour over here for your forearm to rest. So it's pretty comfortable. This is what the headstock looks like. I actually really like how this logo looks like. The black and the gray contrast with the Diamond Series logo right there. Get the string retainer right there. You guys want to know what size nut this is? It's a BR2. So the thing with this, again, like I said, they're putting, stainless steel screws with the softer material metal, which is basically going to eat up that softer metal. So over time, you keep cranking this thing up, it's just going to strip. So if you guys want to swap that out for, better quality, that's what that is. It's a BR2. Oh, and also the truss rod adjustment is right over here. Instead of it being over here, it's a lot more convenient for that thing to be here. All you have to do is just put in your Allen key and start turning it, here, because usually when it's up here, you have to like fish through the hole and like try to find it and like start turning it. And if it's got the cover, it's pretty annoying. So the fact that it's here, that's a huge win. It's a huge win, at least for me. So on the back of the headstock, you got these Schecter branded tuners. They're not in high quality, but it gets the job done, And this guitar is crafted in Indonesia, so most Indonesian guitars, like I always say, are pretty good, well-built guitars. Going down the neck, it's a satin neck, so super fast, super smooth, not in glossy. Like the body's gloss, but it's got a nice super soft finish to this. Here on the back of the guitar, you get this nice big belly cut. It's not tiny like the one on my Hellraiser, so it's nice and big. You get this nice contour over here, so you have good axes when you're shredding and stuff down here. Also over here, you get this nice contour, and it's actually pretty deep, so when you guys are like down here, everything's comfortable to play on this area over here. So you have two battery compartments over here, one for the EMG pickup and one also for the Sustainiac. And back here is where the circuit board is for the Sustainiac system. So I've explained how to adjust this stuff in my other Sustainiac videos, but this knob over here is for the gain on the harmonic mode. So if it's like too much, like when you're on the harmonic mode and it's like very like ear piercing, you can adjust this over here to like bring it up or down. This one over here is for the volume. If the volume is a little too low on the neck pickup, you can adjust this. And this one is the gain for the sustainer. So you can adjust that if you guys, to your likings. But yeah, that's what's going on back here. I'm actually going to take off this neck, see what's going on down here, if there's anything interesting on that neck pocket. So that's what we got going on in that little neck pocket. Nothing too interesting, but this to me is actually pretty interesting because I never actually had a guitar with a truss rod adjustment at the heel of the neck. So that's pretty cool, pretty interesting. There's a number 4 in pencil writing and a number 4 right there also, just to indicate that at the shop. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty interesting. So all I'm going to do now is put this guitar back together and give you guys a quick little demo of how this guitar sounds, and then give you guys my final thoughts on this Schecter Sun Valley Super Shredder. Alright, so there it is, the Schecter Sun Valley Super Shredder. Now, one of my final thoughts on this guitar, it's another great, well-built guitar that Schecter's made. I'm a huge Schecter collector. I love Schecter guitars. And having this one in my collection is another guitar that I can be proud of. Now, I got this guitar around the same time I got my Hellraiser. Man, like, I'm telling you guys right now, I was going back and forth. Because both of these guitars are just great, well-built guitars. And I kept going back and forth with these guitars just because they're awesome, great guitars, man. And I was telling Nicole, I thought I was a huge Jackson guy because I have a few Jackson guitars. But after just getting Schecters, you know, I mean, I do have a few other Schecters, but I don't know. It's just that Schecter guitars are just so well built. My Sinister Gates guitars, because I love both of those guitars. The Hellraiser, the Damien, even the Machine Gun Kelly. I know people were crapping on that guitar, but that guitar is a pretty well built guitar. And now this one, and I still have a few other ones that are in their cases, but you know, I just love Schecter guitars, man. They're just well playing guitars. So with this one specifically, as you guys saw, the Floyd Rose, they call it the Floyd Rose Hot Rod Special. It's an exclusive like Schecter special type of thing. And as you guys saw, I was pretty shocked because I was like, wait, this is a special with a brass block? So I had no idea that this was something, to be honest. I didn't know it was a special because I saw it said special, but I didn't know it was something else. Like, you know, they basically hot rodded it. Like, they added some extra stuff. So what they basically did was they did add the stainless steel screws and the brass block. But like I said, that's not really going to make a difference. A lot of people do crap on these specials because of the saddles. They strip. I've said that multiple times. It's happened to me a few times where they stripped and I had to like replace them. That's something that they actually should have done. Instead of being extra fancy, they should have just literally just put in better saddles, if you ask me. And I know a lot of people would agree with me.
This right here is bullshit.
The fact that it does have a brass block, it does sustain the notes a little bit longer, which kind of doesn't make much sense if you have this Sustainiac, because it's just gonna hold that note infinitely. But like I said, I feel like they were just doing that to make it exclusive, like to make money for marketing, when they should have really paid attention to what's really wrong with the specials, and that's the saddles. But again, it's all marketing. It's all, you know, trying to get people to get these guitars because, oh, hot rodded Floyd Rose, I want that. But like I say, with all these specials, enjoy it while you have it. Play the hell out of them. What I thought it was the 1500. I thought it was the one that came with my Sinister Gates guitar because it looks the same. But if you see it, it does say special on it. So I was like, what's going on here? Again, you know, it does play pretty good. You know, I'm not going to crap on these because I do have some originals. I have some specials. I have 1500s. I have a few different Floyd Roses that it's not a major problem for me, just because I'm not going to abuse it to the point where, you know, I'm like, oh, this crap sucks. So like I said, having these specials is just about maintaining them and not beating the crap out of them, because if you beat the crap out of them, then there's where your problem is going to be. Aside from that, you know, having the Sustainiac is another plus. This is the 7th guitar that I have with the Sustainiac on it. I love the Sustainiac system, you know, not just because I'm a huge Sinister Gates fan and that's the only reason why I ever wanted one. You can get super creative with it. Like, me personally, what I love doing is having it on the harmonic mode, getting a real nice pinch harmonic, getting, like, you know, those squeals. They just ring out a lot better for me with the Sustainiac on it. Depending on the guitar also, because I have a few other guitars that have the Sustainiac on it and it doesn't sound right. But again, it goes with the pickups, and I'm not even going to get into that because a lot of people are going to say, oh, pickups are pickups, and it's all subjective. But speaking of pickups, this pickup that's on this guitar, like I said, it's an AMG retroactive Hot 70. And I'll be 100% honest with you guys, this one sounds a little bit better than a Super Hot 77 that I have. You know, me personally, like how I explained with the retroactive pickups, they do try to emulate like the original, like a passive sounding pickup with a preamp over it. So it's still an active, but they try to get like the tones of a passive pickup. But with this one specifically, they were trying to go for like that late 70s, early 80s Van Halen sound, which you can achieve, you know, depending on how you have your gain and your amp and all that stuff. me, I play metal, so I'm always gonna crank up the distortion. But the clarity on this pickup, I don't know if you guys heard it or not, it just has like that bite, like that crunchy bite, compared to like an Invader. Like, cause like an Invader has so much low end, it kind of gets lost in the mix. But with this one, man, you can just feel it, you can hear it, and I don't know, man. Like I freaking love it. I know I say that a lot with all my guitars and all my pickups that I have, but man, like this one, awesome, super awesome, especially on this guitar. But yeah, man, so like super awesome. I freaking love it. Highly recommend you guys getting one of these if you guys can get the chance to. So these guitars new, you can get them for around $1,000. You know, I got this one brand new, but you could, you know, try to find them on like I always say, on a Facebook Market, Guitar Center, Sam Ash. And I know Sam Ash is going through something right now where they're closing down a few stores, and I had my cries yesterday when I found out that news. It's like if our wives just called them and said, "Hey man, these guys are buying way too many guitars. Stop it." But like I said, you can get these for around $1,000. You know, not super expensive, not super cheap. You know, it's around that price range where, you know, it's getting pretty pricey. But for the features that it has, you know, the Sustainiac and the EMG, I know people are gonna start saying that Floyd Rose. I personally think it's cool. You know, something different that I never had. So I appreciate it for what it is. But I like I said, I wish that it was like a 1,500 or something different. For the price range, it's not too bad. You know, it gives you a freaking awesome shredding machine. And they do have it in different colors. So they obviously have the green one. They have a red one. They have a blue one. They have a neon green and a white one. And the only difference between the other colors and this green one is that the fretboard is a maple fretboard. The other ones have an ebony fingerboard. So that's the only difference. Oh, and the headstock. This one doesn't have the matching headstock, but they're all pretty much the same price. You know, the three colors that have like this pattern. I don't know what kind of pattern this is, but it looks pretty nice. In some angles, it just looks black. So if you have this at the right angle, if you guys are playing live and like the stage lights are hitting it, it's gonna really pop. So like I said, highly recommend you guys getting this guitar. You know, it's an awesome guitar. It's super fun to play with. It's super fast. And, you know, aside from, you know, me personally, I'm not a fan of maple fretboards. I'm more of a rosewood kind of guy. But also, I'm not really into the whole ebony thing. You know, even though I love my Sinister Gaze guitars, those have a ebony fretboard, and those things get dirty so fast. I don't know if that's just me. That's all just like little nitpicky things that I pick at. And one thing I do want to say is that, you know, that last video I made, the Hellraiser video, I felt like I rushed it. And, you know, I was telling this to my wife, Nicole. I was like, man, like, I could have done a little bit more. And I felt kind of bad because I felt like I didn't really go into depth like I usually do with my other videos. But, you know, I've been super busy. You know, I don't do this, you know, guitar thing full time. I have, you know, my regular day job. I'm a steel worker. You know, this past month I've been working almost 80 hours. So I've been coming home and I'm just dead tired, you know, and I love this. Of course I love it. And I want to show you guys, and I want to, you know, keep, you know, making videos. You know, I'm just like you guys. I'm trying to see what these guitars have, you know, what it brings and all that stuff. And that's the reason why I buy it. And it's, you know, I always thought, you know, it's kind of selfish of me personally to have it and not share it with the world. So that's the main reason why I make these videos. At the end of the day, I do this because I love it, and I like to give back just because God's blessed me with so much, and that's the least that I can do. So thank you guys. I really appreciate every single one of you guys. If you guys are new to my channel, you know, keep coming back. So I hope you guys find this video useful and helpful in any way, shape, or form. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys are new to my channel, keep coming back because this is all I do. Guitar reviews, guitar builds, wiring stuff, anything guitar related. And with that, I'll catch you guys on the next one.